Greetings to you. You might be approached in the future by people offering you money in exchange for selling them so-called carbon or biodiversity rights to your land and claiming that their goal is to protect it. Now, these short videos aim at explaining the context of these proposals, what they mean, and what are the potential benefits and risks for you. To understand these proposals, it is important to understand what is carbon and what is climate change. Carbon is a gas that is found in the smoke emitted by burning wood, oil, and other materials. This type of gas and a few others block the escape of the heat coming from the sun, preventing it to go back to space. When too much of these gases accumulate in our atmosphere, this upsets the fragile balance of relationships between the sun, the earth, the oceans, and all forms of life, leading to warmer average temperatures and more frequent extreme weather events such as more frequent and bigger forest fires, more violent rainstorms, floods, longer droughts, and more frequent days where the combination of both heat and humidity is deadly. The effects vary depending on the places. You may have already noticed longer rain seasons or disrupted rain patterns. Over the past 150 years, industrialized countries, most especially in Europe and North America, have emitted such an enormous quantity of these gases that the world climate has started changing and become more unstable. As some of these gases stay in the atmosphere for 3 to 4 generations or even longer, and as we continue to emit massive quantities of them, the world's experts expect a dramatic worsening of climate instability and related extreme events, unless the gas emissions are urgently and drastically reduced. Continued gas emissions are expected to make entire areas of the planet uninhabitable in the future due to unbearable heat, sea level rise, floods, fires, or droughts, making finding water and food increasingly difficult. In turn, this is expected to lead to massive animal and human migration and billions of deaths. The scientists and the governments of industrialized countries have known this for many decades. They have also known that they need to change their way of life in order to reduce their gas emissions. Such a change would involve, for example, eating meat less frequently and traveling less fast and less often. However, the governments, corporations, and part of the population of these countries do not want to reduce their emissions, as it would mean abandoning part of their power and wealth, changing their way of life, production, and consumption patterns. So to avoid curbing their emissions to levels that do not cause harm, they have come up with an alternative: carbon offsetting.